Hello Silver Wolves, it's Blackie and welcome back to the channel. Okay, today we're going to be dealing with a little fire trick I'm going to show you. It's going to be easy for us to carry in our haversacks and make a quick, easy fire this way, especially with our old hands that don't want to work too good on cold mornings. So, stay for that. But first, let me do a quick update. Okay, here's the update. In February, I'm going to be part of the Fuel the Fire is putting on a winter event. This is going to be a winter field exercise event where we're going to be setting up a base camp, and then we're going to do like a mile, half mile, something like that. Go out in the woods to perform skill sets like gathering fire, doing stuff, all the winter stuff focused on winter. Okay. I am an adjunct instructor for Fuel the Fires, and this is a Fuel the Fires event, so I will be at that. Yes, it is open to Silver Wolves. It will not be anything that you shouldn't be able to take care of. Okay, so it's not something that only the young could do, but at the same time, it's a Fuel the Fire event that we're putting on, a class up there, and I'm going to be one of the instructors at this. Now this week we'll be ironing out all the details, so pretty soon, probably as soon as next week, I'll be able to give you an update on date, times, etc. and where you will go to sign up, which will be on the Fuel the Fire's website, not mine. But if you would like to take a class from me and the Fuel the Fire instructors, there's one coming up in February, just to let you know. Now, back to today. What we're going to do is we're going to make something to carry in our haversacks so it's quick and easy. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to carry a bird nest or a series of bird nests in our haversack to be able to pull out quickly to get a fire going. Now the bird nest, we're not going to have to go climbing around in trees. We're going to manufacture, and we're going to make it out of plain old jute cord. Now, there are two types of jute cord that I've seen floating around, and I got this one from Walmart. This one is the round type, and then there's a flat type. I do not like the flat type. Most of the flat type jute that I've tried to do stuff with has some sort of fire retardant or something on it and does not work good for a fire maker that I have found. The round cord does. And again, this is jute cord. You can find it in Walmart where you find the rope. You also find it other arts and crafts stuff. Sometimes it's where the shipping stuff is because people tie up packages with this stuff, or bundle packages. And in other places, it's going to be in hardware store like areas where you're going to find the rope and stuff like that, cord. Sometimes in crafts. If you in a craft store ask for macrame cord, and it doesn't matter the diameter, it's going to be the end result we're after. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take and pull the cord out and make lengths about, do yourself a favor, do short. Say about 1 foot long pieces, and cut 3, 4, 5 of the 1 foot long pieces. Then you're going to simply just start unraveling it and pulling it apart to get the fibers out of it. Now, I cut a piece off. All you want to do is just reverse twist it, and it will start rolling apart. It's just 3 cords twisted together. So there's one right there, and you pull the cords apart first, just like that. Grab the cord and pull, and the little cords will come off. Then it makes it easy to grab those individual cords and just pull, seeing the fibers come apart. And that's what we want. We don't want them completely separate, but just pull the fibers apart. Open it up, fluff it up. That's what we're going for, like that. And now after you've done that, keep making a pile of it. How big a pile? Fist size is what we're looking for. Something like this. See, something that fills your hand up. That big. Now we could use it right then. But we're going to take it with us in the field. So here's what you're going to do. Once you get it all fluffed out and frayed out to it's one big piece, then you're going to take it and put it between your hands and you're going to start rolling. And as you do, you're going to take your thumb and squeeze down. So every stroke kind of squeeze down with your thumb and start rolling it smaller and smaller like you used to roll biscuits. I know you city people ain't never had to roll biscuits or rum balls or stuff like that for Granny in the kitchen, but trust me, once you get the technique, it's real simple. You're just going to roll and squeeze your hands together, and you're going to roll it into a small ball like this. This is what we're going to carry in our haversacks, because with this I can pull it out. Now understand why we're doing this process. One, it's a quick available tinder that if we can find limbs and stuff to make firewood, but finding that soft, easy to catch a spark stuff can be hard in the wintertime, because even a lot of times in the summer everything's damp. So something small and light and fluffy that I can use a ferro rod or whatever and get to catch a spark may be hard to find. This is what we're going to carry. This, it weighs nothing, it compacts down really small, and once we get there, here's what we're going to do. Now if I try to set this afire after I have rolled it in real tight, what's going to happen is it's going to burn over the top, it's going to go out because it's too tight. It'll smother itself. So once we get ready to use it, what we're going to do is we're going to fluff it up again. Just start pulling, just like that. See, and it turns back this. Roll it just a little bit so it's about the size of your fist ball. Okay, this will catch a spark easy. So when I shoot it with a ferro rod, we're going to do that in just a minute. The spark's going to hit, it's going to catch it, and it's going to spread it, and there's enough air in there that it can propagate out and burn fairly quickly. Now let me show you the rest of this technique. Now the second part is something that I've recently saw on the David West channel. I'd like to give that gentleman a shout out. David West has an excellent channel. He's not a bushcrafter, but he is a primitive fire enthusiast. And so all he does is build fires with bow drill and hand drill and all kinds of fire rolling. It's just one technique after another because he enjoys doing the skill of creating fire. And what I saw him do was make a teeny tiny little log cabin around, a teeny tiny log cabin, and then he used a fat wood torch that he made from a small stick to put in there and start a fire. We're going to borrow that technique, but we're going to put it around this. Now, let me put this aim down at the ground and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here's our portable bird's nest. Like I said, all you got to do is just roll it in your hand and squeeze it down tight, and you will roll it down to a small tight ball. When I'm ready to use it, all I got to do is just start pulling those fibers apart, tearing those fibers and interlocking it until I do that, and just roll it a little bit so you can't easily see through it. Is about right. If I can see big old huge daylight through it, it's a little too loose. Squeeze it just a little bit, but about that size. Now I'm going to take my thumbs and push in the middle and kind of roll it around to make it look like a little baby bird nest. Okay, this will help catch the spark in that pocket. Okay, so the spark doesn't hit and flop off of it, it goes into it. Okay, so I'm sure we can see this. Take your thumb and roll it around like that, and the spark goes in here. Now I could just ignite it like this, but I'm going to do one better. I'm going to take small sticks right here. I'm going to snap them small sticks into little straight sticks, just like this. I got a handful of them, that's all I need. And then I've got a really fine little stick right here. That's going to be the last piece. I'm going to now take my little bird nest, set it just like that, and then I'm going to put sticks around it in a little log cabin configuration. Now why we're doing this is because we're going to give the tinder a frame around it. If I just ignited it and went to laying sticks on it, I may smother it because the fact that the weight of the sticks I laid on top would compress it and therefore smother it. So I want to give it a framework around it. This will do two things. One, it'll hold it up and help hold air. And the other thing it's going to do is as air comes underneath, it'll feed air into my tinder bundle as it's burning, and me laying sticks on top to build a fire will not crush it down immediately to keep it burning. Now across the top, I'm going to take this very small stick and make the roof for the cabin, just like this. So I've got me a little bitty log cabin. Okay, I'll put those on in a second. I'm going to strike and ignite that. Then I'll lay the roof on top. Once this is going, I would of course add other firewood to build a fire, but this is just for the demonstration. Now for my sparker, I'm using one of the prototypes for the Fuel to Fire's fire starter. More about that later on. And for my metal shaver, I'm going to use the back of my saw on my Swiss Army knife, which has a good 90-degree edge on it. So, holding the block of wood, this is a block of fat wood, by the way, with a ferrule rod on it. Set up there and get it set. Dig my scraper in real good. And there we go. And she's burning. How tight you make the bundle is how long it'll burn. Too tight, it smothers and it doesn't burn. Too loose, it burns too quick. But by adjusting how much tension is in that ball, you can adjust how fast it burns. And like that, you've got a small. Now I could easily be adding bigger sticks to it at this time. The little log cabin gives me a fuel source already around it to spread the heat into. And all I got to do is just add sticks on top of this. Quick and easy fire set. So, in my haversack, I can carry several of those. That's probably about 7 of them right there, all ready to go, stuffed into the haversack. I've got an automatic source of tinder. They don't take up much space. All you got to do is squeeze it and roll it down into a small ball and put it in there. But I can pull it out and quickly fray it up. I keep my hunk of fat wood and a sparker right next to it, and I have the ability of a striker on me or my knife or whatever. So I've got a source right there for quick, and since the Red Hawk is waterproofed, I don't have to worry about them getting wet. So they will be just fine right there. Now, it makes life so much easier doing it this way. It gon' be. Sorry, had a yellow jacket buzzing around the microphone there for a second. And all you'd be hearing was and that thing is sitting there just a hovering. So, back to, it's super simple. With just a little bit of jute, go ahead and make it up. Make it into a small bird's nest. Roll it down tight. Put it into something. Put it into your haversack, a small bag, a little waterproof container, whatever, to take to the field. When you want a fire, you pull it out, you just fluff it up to the size you want. Put it in the thing and build a little log cabin around it of small sticks. Go ahead and build a little cabin up, so that whenever I have that cabin, it's sitting there like a frame, see? When it ignites, I can lay larger sticks up there and it doesn't automatically just crush the tinder and smother it. That little frame, that little bitty log cabin will hold it and still allow air to come in and keep it burning as I lay bigger sticks up on top. And so that was a little innovation I saw from the David West channel. You know, that's a good idea. Of course, he was doing it with, he made his little log cabin and then he made a little torch out of a piece of fat wood and stuck it in the middle of it and got that to burning. And it'll, if you do your little cabin right, it'll burn 10-12 minutes on it, just a little cabin. And that's enough time for me to get the bigger sticks laid on top of it and get it going. Go ahead and put my entire fire layer around it, all sitting there. So all I got to do is ignite it and then just lay over on top. And it's good to go. Quick and simple. The key element here is having the little bitty bird nest already made up, ready to take. So I can either use a lighter, a match, or a sparker of some kind and get it to go, have the fire. This would be a good project to sit down with the grandkids. Get some of this. Do it outside because these fibers go everywhere. But do it outside and go ahead and make these up. Put them in a little Ziploc bag to have them ready to go. So when I'm going to the field, I just put 2 or 3 in the haversack and I'm good to go. Hope you've enjoyed this, guys. In Silver Wolves, there'll be more classes coming up and more things for you in the near future. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.